Talk again. Go.
Keep going. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, hey, hey.
You talk. No, there's no sound. Talk again, Jasmine. No. Hit it. No. Allie, hit your mic. That mic is not working at all.
Oh, you can hear the thing. Let us know when you're ready. Should we go vertical? Or is that horizontal? What is that?
They have begged for civil rights. They have begged the white man for civil rights. They have begged the white man for freedom. And anytime you beg another man to set you free, you will never be free. Freedom is something that you have to do for yourselves. And until the American Negro lets the white man know that we are really, really ready and willing to pay the price that is necessary for freedom, our people will always be walking around here second-class citizens, or what you call 20th century slaves.
What price are you talking about, sir?
The price of freedom is death. They have begged for civil rights. They have begged the white man for civil rights. They have begged the white man for freedom. And
Are we live? We're good. Hey, what is up? Welcome to the Hub Radio live show. Dang it. It's a new show. I kind of may have forgot the name, but
Live from the hub. Right?
live. No, it's
No.
not live. It's the Hub Radio live
Okay.
show. Yes. Hopefully Dre's not watching.
Right.
They done messed up and let me, Jasmine Renee, and
Allie X.
come on and host the show today.
Together, alone, unsupervised.
Well, T's here,
Oh yeah.
but she's letting anything fly. So, so much going on.
Bro.
I know
yeah.
we're like joking and stuff,
Right. I mean, honestly, it's the black. It's our healing mechanism.
but yeah,
It's
definitely.
all we have.
Yeah.
When it comes to the outrage of, when a black man or a black person is killed by the police, like there's this whole like transfer of energy
Yeah.
and a range of emotions
Yeah.
that go on for black people. And the crazy thing about it is, it's like these things happen to us, and we're not really allowed to express how we feel. We're not allowed to be
Right.
overly angry, or else it's like, it's perceived as being aggressive,
Right.
and the angry black woman, and it's I don't know, it's a process.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
I was having a conversation with a friend, and she was mentioning her being numb and not understanding, like, is it her being numb because she's numbing herself, or is it the fact that society is numbing her? And I'm like, that's crazy that we have to figure out, like, how to feel when we should definitely just be okay being hurt. Like,
Right.
we should just be okay with, like, what's going on, and we should be able to express our feelings that way. But being black in America,
We have to control our behavior.
right.
There was a meme I saw today that actually hit it on the mark. It said, being black is having a good day, and then seeing another black person was killed for no reason, then you have to think about it, talk about it
Right.
all day,
Yeah.
or you
2 days.
you don't
3 days.
and you like numb yourself.
Exactly.
And it says it's a constant emotional war, and it's so true because whenever I see another black person was killed, I'm instantly like, I'm drained because it's like, okay, great. Now we have to go through all these emotions, or
Right.
I have to numb myself. And usually it's both, because even when I numb myself, I can only stay there for so long.
Right. And I haven't been able, I'm I'm big on energy, I'm big on emotions. So, like, if there's an overwhelming amount of energy or type of energy, I'm going to feel that. I also have 3 brothers. If any of you guys know me, you know, like, black men, black boys have always been the center of my advocacy. So I literally go through these, like, moments of feeling, like, extreme rage, and then, like, sensing myself, like, breaking down, like, almost about to cry, like, on the verge of tears, and just, like, almost sobbing, and then I, like, snap out of it. But it's like, what more, can we do? Like, we're thinking we're trying to survive a pandemic. It's like, I don't think I've thought about this pandemic in the past, like, 2 days. Like, what is a pandemic when you're dealing with the epidemic that has plagued America for its entire existence? Like, it's just not an okay thing. So I think a lot of us are just not okay, but we can't afford to be, because some of us have to, work at home. Some of us have to get up and do stuff. Some of us have children that we still have to, like, put a face for. It's just too much.
And on top of that, it's the fact that everyone knows it's happening. The fact that everyone is very well aware that black people, innocent unarmed black people are being killed by the police. It's like we all know this is happening, so it's like when it happens again, and then we all, we get these public acts of catharsis where in the streets we're protesting,
or running.
we're buying sweaters and shirts and
Skittles.
hashtags, and we're all posting and we're creating memes, and it's this so somber thing for about 2 days now. I'll probably give them another day or two, honestly, before we move on. So it's like, that's another thing of, I'm going through all these emotions and nothing's gonna happen. It's a cycle it's gonna happen again.
Right.
So that's where really the frustration is, the hopelessness of, so what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, I think we definitely need to band together. There needs to be an agenda. Like, we just aren't collectively coming together, coming up with different things on how we can move forward. And it's becoming like a real huge problem. We just need to dismantle a lot of things. That's what it comes down to. So there can't be black people that feel like they want to justify the acts that are being done by the police officers. We can't have black people that are like you were saying, oh, but my dad is a cop. Well, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if your dad is a police officer.
Are so distracting,
right,
to the overall mission, because we're not stupid.
Yeah.
Y'all, we know that everything is not absolute.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you need us to say they're good white cops? Everyone's not a black person killer. Like, we know this.
Yeah.
So can we cross that off the list and move on?
Yeah.
Because we also know this is a problem.
Right. And you've been saying that your father is a cop, or that not all cops are bad, since Trayvon.
Right.
Which was, what year was Trayvon?
2011, 12?
12 or 13?
No, it was 13, 2013.
2013, and you guys have been saying that, but that hasn't changed anything. So my thing is that, yes, we understand your dad is a cop, and he probably is doing his job. Okay, cool, bet. But there still are black men and black women that are dying. Like, dying at the hand of senseless cops. You know, like the video, me watching that, and I have not watched it again. I watched everything once because this is me, and I don't put this on anybody else. I feel like if they experienced it, I can at least go through it and watch it at least once. And if you feel like it's too traumatic for you, you don't have to. But this is something that we need to see. It does not desensitize me. It may be traumatic, but this is trauma that I'm willing to live with because there's literally black men and black women that have died. If I'm still here and I'm still alive, that's trauma that I'm willing to partake in. I'm willing to take that on because they've died. I can't offer them anything at this point except for this act of watching, them take their last breaths.
That's like you said, you gave the disclaimer that this is not for everybody. I personally don't. I think I watched this video.
You don't watch it?
No, I don't watch the videos.
Okay.
I don't. I know all of their names though.
Yeah.
I know all, and I know how they died.
Of course.
I know their stories.
Yeah.
I'll see the initial image to where, so it's like when it happens, obviously I'll know, that's that video because of the setting, but I personally can't watch it because I already feel it enough.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to participate in seeing them dying because like I feel like at least I know I do enough already when it comes to at least trying to change the system, trying to educate people, trying to move that needle forward as far as it tearing down and dismantling this entire system. But it's really a preference. Some people, I think more so for anyone, those that are not connected to causes, y'all need to watch the videos.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to watch all of them.
All of them. All of them. Just feel all of it. Feel all of it. Watch every last one of them all at the same time so you can realize that the way that we feel, the hurt that we feel, the anger we have, the passion that we have is not for naught. Like, it's for great reason. Like, we see these men being killed and we can't help but to see our fathers in those same positions. What is different between George Floyd and my dad? What separates them? What separates them? I have no clue.
Nothing.
Because if he was doing something, they said that he resisted arrest, which the video showed that he did not. If my dad was in that same situation and there were police officers that were doing something wrong to him, I'm sure just by human nature, your father would do it too, would question, like, what's going on? Like, why are you doing this to me?
But you see, that's even problematic in itself when we start talking about what they were doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what they were doing.
No,
if he
they
was
doesn't
selling illegal, if he was selling drugs or whatever. If at the end of the day, this black man is not treated exactly how a white man would be treated or a white woman would be treated, then it's a moot point. It doesn't matter, because if a person, like you gave me an example of a woman who, like, a white woman, like, who drove off, was escaping, and then he ended up, the police officer ended up having to tackle him, and then she
drove off. She was in her car. He was giving her a ticket, like a $70 ticket for whatever she did. She was like, no, I'm not taking the ticket. So then he started saying, get out the car. And she was like, okay, no, I'll take the ticket. And he was like, no, it's beyond that. You need to get out the car. She closed her door. She drove off. He followed her to wherever she went. He proceeded to keep pleading with her to get out the car. He then pulled her out the car. She hit the ground. They're like tussling on the ground. Then he proceeds to have a conversation with this woman, and she's explaining why she didn't get out the car. She kicked him too. And he's asking her, why did you kick me? And she's explaining why she kicked him. And I posted that video maybe a few days ago and was just like, the irony of how white women get treated when they're acting crazy versus when a black man is pleading for his life. And now today, we've seen what happens. You know, now or now Monday, we were able to see, like, we were able to juxtapose it and see, like, what happens when it's a black man.
If a person, at the end of the day, if a person is unarmed, they need to be having the same type of treatment, whether they're Latino, whether they're white, black, whatever it may be, and that's not the case. So
they know how to treat. They know how to keep people alive even when they are armed. That's the thing that gets
that's
me.
Right.
They
We've
know
had
how to
mass
keep up
terror.
on-
We remember
yeah.
what the white man that killed all those black people
In the church?
In the church.
And they took him to like Jack in the Box.
Oh,
Burger King. Is that have it your way? He had it his way. With French fries. How in the world? How in the world do you murder people and you get taken to Burger King?
You get a Whopper.
A burger
You get a burger.
and French fries. And you murder people and they took you to Burger King.
But the man that ran away because he owed child support, he got shot in his back in North Carolina.
He couldn't get Burger King? Like, to say the least.
He owed child support, my dude.
Right. And the white man is a murderer. They're animals.
This is the thing. America and most white people don't have a conscience. And that's just what it is. And I know it sounds like, oh my God, did she just say that? Yes, white people don't have a conscience. In fact, anyone that sees any of this stuff going on and you don't say anything,
Even the most definitely black people.
definitely black people, you don't have a conscience, and more importantly, you're not a part of the problem. You are the problem.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
are the problem.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll let you finish that.
You're definitely a part of the problem. It behooves us to be moved by these things. We can't ever get to a point where, like, I'm right now, like, my heart is uneasy. I wasn't able to go to sleep last night until like 4. I had to literally put on like a black romance movie. I had to watch 2 black romance movies last night at like 1 a.m. to get me to finally go to sleep around 4:30. Because I was just like all over the place. Like, had to put my phone down, had to like really just calm down. And I'm pretty sure there's other black women and black men who maybe had it worse than I did, who maybe just didn't go to sleep, or who maybe are experiencing extreme anxiety.
Extreme
it's just, if
anxiety
you're
is across the board for a lot of people, especially, more importantly, you know who probably has extreme anxiety? Black men.
Yeah.
Black.
And my heart breaks every single time. And I don't even think there's like more pieces to be broken at this point. But we are going to go to a commercial. Make sure you stay tuned with us. We will be back to talk about more about George Floyd and your boy, Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Who's in these
Why
comments?
should I care about the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census counts everyone living in the U.S.
Count everyone living with you.
Even kids.
Our numbers help shape funding and services.
For all these things.
That's a lot of stuff.
Your responses are safe and secure.
No matter who you are or where you're from.
We have reasons to care. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
Hey, I'm that nigga. Pull up, you can be my bad splitter. Know the streets say I'm a bad nigga. Cause I'm a savage, not if I sag with you. Ayy, crack that code, maybe I could pass with you. Get on your toes, probably blow it back with you, yeah. We got the streets on lock, forever from the bottom, but we still on top.
Hey world, it's Coco and I'm the owner of Coco's Lip Smacking Cupcakes. Before I started my business back in 2013, I would bake for fun for family and friends. I enjoy baking so much, I decided to turn it into a business. And here we are, 6 years later and still in the game. But don't let the name fool you. Not only do I make delicious cupcakes, I also offer custom cakes, cookies, and chocolate dip treats. Oh, and I can't forget about my beautiful cupcake truck. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and sign up for our email list on my website to keep up with all things lip smacking.
we had to make a pivot. Our mission now is to help underserved communities get PPEs and other supplies so we can all help protect ourselves and protect the communities who are most vulnerable.
We are here at a citywide mass distribution. They have graciously donated to the city of Compton to distribute masks throughout the community. So this is our first hub, and we're just allowing people to pull up and get some masks.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the Hub Radio Live show, Black Edition, with Jasmine Renee.
And Ali X.
Yes, we are going to dive into, we kind of tapped into a little bit, but the conversation with George Floyd. Him, I believe it was Monday in Minneapolis, he was just murdered by a police officer. I mean, it's so sad that this is, like, not the first time. You know, like, this has happened so many times. It's like in double digits at this point, and we probably can't even count the number, like, on our hands and our feet. But yeah, what were your, like, thoughts on?
Obviously it was funny because right before I got here, one of my friends sent me a video of, I guess it was his woman or his fiance or girlfriend, whoever she was, saying that, like, I guess pleading with people to stop, like, rioting, and that, like, George would want us to, like, honor him with grace, and I immediately felt enraged. White bitch, who the fuck are you? You don't get to tell us.
Yeah.
At all. I don't give a fuck who you were to him. You're not black. Clearly by your statement. You're telling us that almost like our riots have anything to do with honoring him. This has nothing to do with his honor. And what the fuck has grace given black people? What has that done for us? How much grace do we need to give? And again, what are we getting from grace exactly? If we to honor him and hold hands and speak highly of him, what the fuck is that going to do? Does she the fact that she does not understand that this has nothing to do with his honor or his legacy or anything like that. This is finally time for black people as a whole to see an attack on one black person as an attack on all black people. Finally. So, white bitch, shut the fuck up. Period. Okay.
Period. First, period. That was
prophetic. Okay. I could have said it nicer. But again, these
I
don't have that is the uncensored raw cut. I know I'm supposed to be, diplomatic, and I'm supposed to, not call, say things in a different way, but this is genuinely, authentically how I feel. Yeah. You don't, and white people, unless you're going to speak from a place as an ally, you don't get to speak at all. I don't give a fuck who you're fucking.
Who?
Let's get that clear.
And ain't you supposed to be in the house quarantining? Who let you out? Like, my thing is, I wanted to wait till later to say this, but it is what it is. There were black women saying they wanted to remove their support from him, and I disagree with that because he was engaged. He's a black man that was engaged to a white woman.
That doesn't change.
Now,
who you're sleeping with doesn't.
Right. That doesn't. The police officer is right because he's no longer here. The police officers do not care who you're sleeping with. They do not care who it is that you're laid up with, who you're married to. They just see a black man and they decide whether they want to be in fear of you or not. My thing with that is I have a brother who's dating someone of a different race, and no, I do not agree with it, but I will be damned.
It doesn't. You're still a black man.
I get on, if God forbid, but he's in the same situation as George Floyd, and I get on social media and people are saying black women Black women are saying we're going to remove our advocacy of this man because he is dating someone of a different race. I'm first of all, I'm coming for whoever did whatever they did to my brother, and then I'm coming to find you as a black woman, because no matter, like I said, who he lays with, who he kisses, who he marries, what that cop sees is in George Floyd is no different from what he's going to see with my brother, with my father, or any man. I don't care what he's doing. So, no, I completely do not agree with that. In terms of the white woman, like Ali said, please sit down and please shut up. The forgiveness piece, whether we forgive or whether we are vigilant and violent, we still get the same results. They are still going to try and kill us. They won't stop killing us until we get to a point of collectively showing them what they have shown to us. And I really honestly believe that. But you can't speak for us. Please
you don't
stop getting on these cameras, on social media, and talking about forgiveness. That forgiveness piece is done and over with. It never worked. It will not work. We are dealing with a very different kind of people, a very different kind of species, that whether we forgive them or not, they're not going to stop. So why don't we just do what we have to do by any means necessary and get stuff done that way? If we need to be violent, then that's what we need to do. Like, it's getting to that point.
When for black men who are dating women outside of your race, you're entitled to do whatever you'd like to. But let this be a lesson that if you are proud to be black and you just so happen to be with someone else, how about you educate them and teach them about our struggle, about our plight, because go ahead.
You said if you're proud to be black, are you with somebody else?
Yeah. Then you need to you're with. I mean, okay. So
I had to play it back. I mean, you do what you want. You be proud in your bedroom or not in the bedroom. Be proud in the closet, but not in the bedroom.
Okay, so old boy who played Nat Turner, what's his name?
Is it Nat? Is his name Nat?
Isn't it Nat? It's Nat.
His name Nate Turner.
Huh?
Doesn't he have like the same name?
His name is Nate something. His name's not Nate Turner. He played Nat Turner.
He played Nat Turner, but his name is Nate.
Nate. We'll say Nate.
Okay, so he's actually super pro-black, and he's married to a white woman.
So not super. He's He don't.
Done a lot. He's
I
an
don't
activist.
Care. No. I ain't activist. You can say that.
Okay.
We ain't. No, don't.
Hold up.
We.
Okay, I get what I fucks with you. I see where you.
They gonna kick us off.
I know.
Nate Parker.
Nate Parker.
Something with an ER at the end.
Right. He's with a white woman. So like
matter.
all the things that he does for black people and his pro-blackness, is it canceled out because he's with a white woman?
It's not canceled out, but
you're like diluted it down.
You in the back of the you sit in the middle. You can't sit in the front. Sorry. Because how does it look? Hold on. How does it look that we're fighting for a cause and you walk in with this white woman and you're sitting in the front of our movement? Get to the back and leave her at home.
Right.
Leave her at home. Yeah. We got stuff to do. Or you stay home. I don't care. But no, I'm not following no movement with no black man walking with a white woman on his arm. And I'm not following a movement with a black woman walking with a white man on her arm. Stop disrespecting us.
You can't be a leader.
Stop disrespecting us.
You could be with us, but
you can be a citizen, but not a leader.
Nah, yeah, you could be
that's disrespectful that people want to be like, oh, well, you can't be a leader. No, you can't. How you going to lead me with a white woman? What the hell is she going to teach me?
Understand the importance of our pro-blackness.
And you clearly don't, because you walking around with this white woman who, if God forbid, but you die at the hand of police officers, she gonna get online talking about, can you guys please forgive him? And she's gonna remember the words of those white men that she comes from and forget about what you talked to her about every time that y'all was laying in bed, because it didn't matter to her. So to the black men, now, like I said, I'm gonna advocate for George Floyd. completely 100%, but to the black men that are alive now, please take note. Take note of exactly how that white woman is acting now that he is no longer here. All of you guys that want us to riot for you, but you're laying up with women of different races, don't ask us, even though we will, but don't expect for us to show up and to shut her up
every time
when you decided to make her your wife. That's your fault. So take note. T has something to say.
Something you posted online about when the singer and his wife went at him online, calling him a bitch.
Oh,
That kind of coincides. Be
yes.
mindful of who you marry because
John Legend and what's her name?
Chrissy Teigen.
Chrissy Teigen. I guess. Well, I know she had called him a bitch on like the Shade Room, and it was something. I guess it was playful, but I'm like, why? So first of all, when you talk about respect, whoever I'm with, I'm gonna respect them to the utmost. Like my boyfriend, I'm gonna respect him beyond that. I don't ever want to be called a bitch. So why would I ever, in the history of my existence, call him a bitch online and disrespect him public? No. I don't want no man that's okay with me calling him a bitch. And if my boyfriend is okay with me calling him a bitch, I gotta go get a new one. I have to go get a new one because you're a bitch.
How did we get here?
T came and said something. We were talking, right, and John Legend is a black man, and he's not, I don't know what she is. She's Filipino and something. She's racially ambiguous, but she just tiptoes on the line a little too much. I just personally don't. Why would I ever want to call my man a bitch? That's my bitch. Why would I want a man that is okay with that? When me calling, and I'd rather be called a nigga than a bitch. Why would I be okay?
Why did you do this?
With a man accepting me calling him a bitch?
The moral of the story is
watch who you lay down with.
Boom.
Watch.
But that's not like that doesn't equate because if he has no problem being called a bitch by his wife on social media, that's
why
shit. Like
he needs to be at the back in the back of the pulpit.
Who said John Legend was in the front of the pulpit?
No, I'm just saying if he ever wanted to be.
Oh, he can't. He don't want the mic. He don't. She and the crazy thing is, she would try to grab the mic and speak for us. She would.
Chrissy Teigen, we don't want it, and she be trying to clap back at people. Clap back at this, like, girl.
I like Chrissy Teigen. Wait.
No.
They're not detrimental to the cause. They're not even in the cause.
What are they in?
Wait, John Legend is, ain't he dead? And he said, I don't know. I don't know how we got here. T did this.
T did
We need to go to commercial.
Yeah, we are gonna go to commercial. We will be back with more news on the Hub Radio Live. I hated that.
Hey, it's your girl Coco.
And it's your boy Kale.
And we have a special announcement for you guys.
Let them know.
All right. Welcome to Coco and Ko's Local Taste.
We're here to let y'all know where to go for the best local eateries in the Southern California area. And have fun at the same time.
That's right, y'all. We have teamed up to bring y'all the best of the best locals. Okay? So follow us on this journey as we tell y'all who to taste and who to waste.
Whenever you're ready. Don't start shit.
Why should I care about the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census counts everyone living in the U.S.
Count everyone living with you.
Even kids.
Our numbers help shape funding and services.
For all these things.
That's a lot of stuff.
Your responses are safe and secure.
No matter who you are or where you're from.
We have reasons to care. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
Hey, I'm that nigga. Pull up, you can be my bad splitter. Know the streets say I'm a bad nigga. Cause I'm a savage, not if I sag with you. Ayy, crack that code, maybe I can pass with you. Get on your toes, probably blow it back with you, yeah. We got the streets on lock, we forever from the bottom, but we still on top.
Hey world, it's Coco and I'm the owner of Coco's Lip Smacking Cupcakes. Before I started my business back in 2013, I would bake for fun for family and friends. I enjoy baking so much, I decided to turn it into a business. And here we are, 6 years later and still in the game. But don't let the name fool you. Not only do I make delicious cupcakes, I also offer custom cakes, cookies, and chocolate dip treats. Oh, and I can't forget about my beautiful cupcake truck. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and sign up for our email list on my website to keep up with all things lip smacking.
Hey, what is up? We are back live. We are back on the Hub Radio Live show.
Got it right
yes.
this time.
With myself, Jasmine Renee, and
Allie X.
Yes, I'm surprised we haven't got shut off of Instagram yet.
Yeah.
We're still here managing. But we were going to get into the riots that are happening in Minneapolis.
Yeah, the riots that the white lady asked us not to participate in.
Oh.
However,
way to bring it back.
I know, because that's exactly what she did.
Right.
And asked us to give grades. And here's what I posted something, and this is the first time actually I've ever actually co-signed and like really have been for violence. Like,
oh, you're not normally for violence?
No. I'm actually always very much against public acts of catharsis because they're fleeting and they don't last. So the protests and the signs and the this and the that, like they're nothing's gonna come from it. So I get very annoyed by them. My thing is like, let's go straight to the policymakers. My thing is like, why are we not pressing our the governors, the politicians, the lawmakers, the mayors? Because the thing is, policing starts at a very local level.
True.
So why are we not changing laws? If everybody knows what's going on and everybody knows it's a fucking problem, then why are we not doing anything about it that is long lasting?
Right.
So that's the issue that I have. So being that all of these public acts of catharsis have not led to any legislative change, maybe if we burn down a couple buildings,
burn them.
They'd be inclined to.
And put up the signs.
But black-owned, we need to
black
like some
businesses,
official
signage.
Like, signage that we can.
It can be like a secret
water,
code.
Yeah, that has like water stamped or something that goes in like every black-owned business. You can only get them from like our council of black leaders, like whoever. Like we need to know the official black businesses because we don't want people just being like, oh, now you want to be black or now you want to be with the colored folk. Like we need an official roster of all the black businesses. We need to only go to those businesses. And when it comes to writing and shit like that, there needs to be like, you know, a list already published so we know which ones to skip over. Because I'm very much against us looting in our own neighborhoods, in our own areas of shopping. But I'm very much for taking the shit to their doorstep.
Yeah.
And shitting there. I'm very much for that.
Did you have something to say, DJ Cameron?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say with the public acts, it can be frustrating with all like the protests and stuff like that. And I do agree with you that there should be some type of like call to action, like especially within policy. But if 10 people are going to policy, or even 100 people going to policy, or going to the city council meetings demanding change, it's easy for them to be like, fuck it, we'll just move it to the next one, rather as if you got those same people going demanding it from the politicians while you got all this rioting shit going on. It's like you get the Malcolm and the Martin, so it's like it takes a little bit of all of it.
No, I absolutely agree. I'm 1,000% about that. In fact, I believe that if we had Malcolm X and Martin Luther King working together, because they wanted the same thing. Mm-hmm. They just had two completely different approaches.
Right.
And I think that's why we are so divided as a people now, because we have the black liberals and we have the, what's up? Oh, okay, we got the black liberals and we have the black conservatives, and because we have these different ideals of how to go about it, we don't do anything.
Right.
But the thing is, imagine if Malcolm X and Martin Luther King could have worked together, if they could have just met a little bit in the middle, which they were actually.
Martin was getting
he
towards
was starting
that.
to lean towards that, and Malcolm, after he traveled to Mecca, was starting to lean a little bit in the middle, and that's when them niggas got killed. Because
and that's what he said. I fear that I have ushered my people into a burning house. Yeah.
That's when he started. As soon as he started to realize how the lack of conscience and the evilness that has been ingrained in the fabric of this country. Lost my train of thought, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a thing where we definitely need to bring those two together, but I'm all for, like, act the fuck up.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
act up.
Burn it
act
down.
up.
Absolutely.
Do whatever you need to do. Put the signs up. Save black businesses. But we're going to Beverly Hills. We are going to West Hollywood, and we are acting a complete fool. That's it. That's it. That's all. Like, that's all they understand at this point. I have no mercy left. I have no forgiveness left. I have no understanding left. We just need to make sure that they understand. As far as the man that killed George Floyd, I think that he needs to experience pain like no other, whether that's from taking his family or from doing it to him however people do it, like they do it on the TV shows. I mean that, like, from the bottom of my heart. Like, he really needs to experience pain on a different level. I don't even care if he gets a murder charge. Like, no, just let him experience pain. And if death comes at the end of it, so be it.
See, I'm a little different. I need a murder charge, because that is the only thing. We need to change the precedent. We need to change that standard, because right now, and how it's been is, as long as you are in uniform and you are killing a black person, you're protected. This would actually be the first time that would not be the case, if it actually goes through.
But I'm saying that it needs to end, like, in death. So if that's the message that we send to them, let's do it. If that's the message that we send to them, kill us again and we coming for you, and there's no life after that, they gonna get that. They will understand it, and they will stop. Once they see that we coming and we have no mercy, they'll get it and they'll stop. I would.
So in a sense, we both agree, burn it down.
Burn them down. Burn him.
Because that's what's going to have to happen in order for any of it to change.
Right.
It's not our preference. That's the difference. You know what I mean? We prefer that you guys kind of just understood on your own out of a greater sense of humanity, that maybe all people should be created equal and treated equally. But since you guys are really not letting that go, we have to do what we got to do, and that's just that.
And talking about not letting things go, we wanted to bring up Biden and not letting it go, because he has been one way since the 90s. I know we were talking about the crime bill and all the mess that he was saying in that video that we have. Do we have the video already? But he basically, in the Charlemagne video recently said, like, if you are contemplating on voting for Trump or for him, then you are not black. Sir, is the video ready? Okay. Sir, first of all,
First of all, okay, there's a whole problem with a white man telling black people what it means to be black. That's one. Then he right after saying that, he says so proudly, "Check my record." So what do you guys think I did?
She
pulled
got
the
the
record.
receipts.
I pulled the record.
Check
your record. In fact, the crazy thing was, when he said it, I was so appalled, because I already knew his record.
And there were black people defending him. But if I say that you're not black because you don't contribute to the progression of black people, it's a problem. But when a white man says you're not black if you don't vote for him, when he is just the lesser of two devils, he can say that you're not black.
And honestly, the crazy thing is, I can't even say that he's the lesser of two evils when it comes to black people, because if you put Joe Biden's record next to Trump's record, Joe Biden has been way more detrimental to the black community than Trump has ever been, even going as far back as him taking out a full-page ad against the Central Park Five, wanting them to be executed. Joe Biden literally he said his name is all over the 90s crime bill, which is responsible for truth in sentencing. So we're doing 85% of our time because according to him, we cannot be rehabilitated. We are subject to the 3 strikes rule. We had an increase in our prison systems where we are disproportionately being placed in. So, and then on the flip side, Trump actually has had more steps towards criminal justice reform than Obama.
Oh, y'all can't have me on this video. Well, Allie knows more than me when it comes to this politics stuff. So
I mean, it wasn't.
I ain't gonna. I'm sitting next.
And it wasn't something that he did specifically for black people. The change that he did in criminal justice reform was actually in 2019. And it was where it was more he had an increase in rehabilitation programs, and about 45,000 people were being released because of his changing in the way you can get time off for good behavior. So is that specifically for black people? No, it's for the criminal justice system, but where are we?
In the criminal justice system.
So again, technically, if that's what we're looking at, we're not going to vote for, if that's the basis, if your issue is criminal justice reform, then if you're black, then you have to vote for Trump, according to him.
The video's ready.
The video's ready.
The video is ready.
All have agreed upon. And that is, unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now, not out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. And the truth is, we don't very well know how to rehabilitate them at that point.
He said check the record. So I checked his record.
Right. And that is the record of him basically like coming for black youth, which I have a complete problem with. If you know me, that's like I said earlier, that's the center of my advocacy. I have the same sentiments towards that as I have towards the school to prison pipeline, where if you can develop data on how a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, if they don't pass a certain test, they're going to end up in prison, or you're going to develop funds so that there can be a prison bed waiting for him, that means you have enough data to also help him so that by the time by the time they get in 8th grade, you can check back in with them and say, we put them through this programming to help get them up to par. So if Joe Biden back then was able to see that there were a lot of troubled black kids or troubled kids, period, why were there no measures put in place to help them in terms of their community, to help bring them up to par when it comes to those social norms that they were lacking.
Well,
it's
he
not
answers
even
that. He says that because we are beyond the pale, many of those people.
Right. And
We
what's the
cannot
pale?
be-
Is the pale the whiteness? Like, we act worse than white people? Is that what he's saying? Because white people act really bad, and we see that, like, every day. So, what is that? I've never heard that before.
Me neither.
The pale. I'm saying it's the white person, the man that killed George Floyd, the man that killed Tamir Rice. It's beyond that. That's probably what he's saying. And he's like, how dare you be worse than a white person? But yeah, I just don't I don't agree with it, and it just really puts me in a tricky situation when it comes to politics. Like, this is who you are. You talk about these kids not having their fathers, but the ones that came before you have a lot to do with them not having their fathers. So how dare you sit in front of us?
This 90s crime bill that you pushed for is the direct correlation to many
fatherless children.
Fatherless children.
It's just unfortunate. And now you're talking about, there's predators on the street.
We're
then,
we're the predators.
Yeah, we're the predators on the street. But now you have to go and speak to the life of George Floyd and talk about those predators that exist within the police academies all across America. So it's just like, if you can identify the predators that you thought were existing back in those days, can you also still provide reform and identify the predators that are existing now today that we are all, like, we as black people are all trying to heal from?
But no, the crazy thing is, though, he states in his rant, even though we created this problem.
Yeah, he knows it. White people know what they did.
He says, and openly, and no one disagrees with him, even though we've created this, we still need to lock them away. Okay, so what are you doing about the problem that you created? Because the only thing that you've said is to lock us away.
Until you want to let us out. So even after the rehabilitation process happens and you get back to where you're in like a happy standing as a citizen, you still will be locked up until they feel like it's okay.
That continuously perpetuates this, and it's continuously creating more of these predators. Is my point. You're saying that we created this, but you've not named one thing that's being done to stop the creation of more of these predators that you are all creating. And which leads me to then, if this is the case, why are we not talking about reparations?
I don't have an answer for that.
That's a whole nother story.
I think they also need to highlight the education system. The education system has failed black kids for just as long as I can, think of. Like, they are not learning at the rates in which they need to learn again, to learn at. And then once they get into colleges with kids that had better educations, that maybe went to school, across the way, they can't compete. They can't compete because you're not putting the proper resources in the schools. You aren't caring about the number of children that are in each classroom. And then the kids that do need extra resources, you're not making sure that they're abiding by the IEPs that they're being given. So then when they do get into the system, they're just not prepared, and they're just not prepared.
School to prison pipeline.
And now there's a cradle, like there's a womb to prison pipeline, which goes back to, like, if your parents don't make a certain amount of money, we will have a prison bed waiting for you. How sick is that? That they look at us like that. Like, we will criminalize you before you even enter into this world. We're gonna criminalize you. It just blows my mind.
Which is, then leading us to then what is the solution? How do we change it? And it always goes back to our lawmakers, our policymakers. Who do we have over our education system? These are all, like, there's someone in charge of every system. So it can be changed. It's just not being done.
Right. I think that's a great point, and we were talking about this earlier I was talking to somebody about Candace Owens, and if any of you know her, she's a Republican that votes for Trump, and she has a lot of good sources in terms of why she believes the things that she does. A lot of the points that she brings out, they are facts, and there are a lot of the reasons why I decided to fight for black youth and black people. However, her route of getting there is not the same as mine. But out of desperation, I'm at a point now where I'm like, we all need to collectively come together and figure out an agenda. Where I can't sit up here and say no to Candace Owens because she believes in a different route to the same end goal. We all need to come collectively to sit together at the table, because there will be no room for black Democrats as them having their own agenda, and room for black Republicans having their own agenda. There's only room for one collective, and there's only gonna be a entire effectiveness when we all can come together and realize, okay, I don't agree with you on that, but I do agree that the end goal is to weaponize us with finances that will translate into generational wealth, to weaponize us with ownership, to weaponize us with education that benefits our students and puts them at high levels once they do go to college. Like, those are the things that we need to worry about. So I'm at a point of desperation. Like, if you are black and you have a movement, even if it don't look like mine, I want to sit down with you, because we all need everybody in this fight. I don't have all the tools. I'm very vigilant. I'm very, like, by any means necessary. I really don't care to talk to white people, but there is somebody who does, and they need to be on the team. And I'm willing to, like, have them there.
I fuck with white allies, though. Like, I don't like white people, but I love white allies.
The cost has went up to be a white ally.
Okay, so what's the cost?
The cost has went up.
So what makes you a white
Get
ally?
your house in order completely. You guys have no integrity, and you guys are raising children that will kill our children because you guys have a certain disdain for us. Like, you guys are not checking the fact that you guys feel away when black men come into the room, when black women come into the room. And that is translating into you raising these little boys who, I want to be a cop when I grow up. And then when that man hits 30-something years old, he goes and kills my 30-something-year-old son because of the disdain that you had in your house when you were raising him. So get your house in order. The cost has went up to be a white ally. Everybody's starting at zero. We have no white allies anymore. It's zero. But you get it together, because I know I'm tired. Like, we don't want you to come to the rallies. We don't need you to make posts. We don't need you to do that. We need you to raise better sons, raise better daughters. Do that.
Tim Wise is a white ally, though. Like, he's always been. He goes around telling white people about their white privilege, how stupid they are for having it, the denial. He literally goes out there.
Does he have children?
I don't know, but he
has children?
I believe so.
Because this is the thing that I've also realized. There are white people who will go and do all of that, but then in their house, they have white terrorists that they are raising. So no. Don't go tell the next white person. Tell your son to get off the internet talking all that mess and get him together. The cost has went up. I don't need you posting nothing on social media. What is your son posting about on Instagram? What is your son doing to the black boys that are in his class? What is your daughter doing to the black girls that are in their class? What are your white children? Put it on TikTok. Check that. Stop making posts about us. I don't care. We don't care anymore. You're not getting brownie points for that anymore. Like, get your house in order. That's it. That's all. Like, our lives mean too much. Like, I really mean that. Get your house in order. Check your children's TikTok. For all of y'all that have white friends, go text them now and say, hey, have you been on your child's TikTok in a while? Check that. And then let me know if your house is in order. That's that. The cost went up.
That's that on that.
Yeah.
Well, I think it concludes in saying we don't fuck with white people, right?
Is that what y'all got from this?
My question, being that we're coming to the end of the show, is what do we do now?
We have to press our. Listen, okay, two things. There's two things. For one, we have to change the way that we are looking at law enforcement, because we look at them as the ops. And right now, yes, they are, but we need more black police officers. We need more black judges. We need more black prosecutors. We need more of us ingrained into the system. That's the only way things are going to change. And two, I mean, that is something that's going to happen in the long term because obviously that'll change over time. But right now, besides, you know, what Jasmine is suggesting, go press all your white friends, go do that. But who we need to really be pressing is your mayor, the local sheriffs, your governor, the politicians, the lawmakers that are in charge of all of this, in charge of police reform training or laws that will put laws in place to protect us. So changes can be made. Things can be put on the books to protect us, and that's not happening. So what I challenge all of you to do is to hit up your mayor, hit up your governor and ask, what are you doing to change the relationship between black people and law enforcement? Because this ain't it. What training is being changed? What's being done? That's what we need to do.
What's being done? And that's
what's being done. Ask.
What's being done?
Because if nothing's being done, then when this next election cycle comes up, then we know what we need to do. But that's a whole nother story. Because we don't like to vote and all this other shit.
We don't like to vote. Well, I agree. We need to definitely get more tapped in with legislature.
Yep. So.
We definitely need to get more tapped in with legislature and understand how voting locally, and shout out to Dre, because I didn't vote in 2016. And for all of y'all, see, I'm about to get y'all. For all of y'all who want to say, oh, if you didn't vote, then you can't talk. The only thing that you did was vote, okay? I've been working, so kill that. I didn't vote because at that point, I didn't believe that voting for the lesser of two evils was something that I wanted to do. Being more educated 4 years later, I'm going to vote this election. But like I said, all you did was vote, and I've been working. I've been in the streets. So we are wrapping it up. This is the Hub Radio live show here at the Hub Radio. Of course, as I just said that. But it's me, Jasmine Renee, and
Allie X.
Yes, and T is on the engineering side, and we have DJ. Oh, he got people. We're gonna have a moment of silence for George Floyd. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. If you don't want to, then not. But I think he deserves our eyes.